Hey everybody, it's Cindy here, and I am going to talk to you about relationships this week, ending relationships, how to deal with divorce, things like that, how to help the kids through divorce. That's going to be the focus this week because of so many requests to do that. But today I wanted to share some information that I have come across recently that I love, and it's called turning the 4 C's to turning conflict into a time of connection. So let's talk about this before we talk about ending relationships, because I think this is powerful information. It is by a therapist, coach person. Her name is Deborah Morehead. Deborah Morehead, and I thought it was excellent information, so I want to share it with you. So if you're thinking about ending a relationship, that probably means there's some serious conflict. And so I want to review these that she has developed to have you look at conflict maybe in a different way first and see if it can make any difference in your life. So the first C is calm. Calm, right? So when things are getting riled up and we're in conflict, or someone says something that touches a hot button, we're often, as humans, very reactive, right? Very reactive initially, and we're ready to fire back or give an opinion or whatever, or storm out of the room or be abusive verbally or physically, something like that. And so you want to create a feeling of calm first. So if that means that you need to say to the person, okay, I need some time and space, and then I will come back and address this with you, then I want you to honor it. So take some time, take some space, and go and sort of sit with yourself, calm down, do whatever you need to do, whether this takes 10 minutes or 10 hours or the next day. If this relationship is important to you both, then you ought to be able to say, I hear you. I'm not able to respond in a way that feels good right now. So I'm going to take some time and space. And when I'm calm, I will come back to you and we can come back to it. So make sure you do that for yourself, and make sure you allow your person to do that if they need to also in the relationship, and be patient while they are striving to get calmer, because things will go better if you are both calm and not so initially defensive or reactive. Okay, so number 2 of these is curiosity. So one of the things that we often do when we're in conflict is we're very self-absorbed in the middle of a conflict. We're taking things personally, we're getting upset. And if we can shift a little bit and go, I wonder what's going on with this person I care about over here, that they are speaking to me this way, or they're upset like this. So being curious and going, I'd really like to, in your mind saying, I'd really like to understand them better before I respond to this, and that kind of thing. So instead of getting defensive, just turn your sights more on them and where they're at in their process, and strive to understand. Be curious about where they're coming from, about something, about how come they're giving you this feedback, or what's gone on with them in the past that maybe is part of why they're coming forth this way in your relationship with them. And that will serve you better in your relationship than just kind of taking it for a grain of salt and what's coming right in the moment. And then number 3 is to have compassion. To have compassion. And I know it's hard when you feel like you're in the midst of a serious conflict, when you're feeling defensive, or maybe someone's complaining to you or telling you how inadequate you are. Instead, again, this is another way to move toward the person and create more connection instead of more conflict, instead of escalating the situation. If you can look at them compassionately, and some of the ways of doing that is to, number 1, remember why you are in a relationship with this person, first of all. You must care about about them a lot or have cared about them deeply in the past to be in a relationship with them. You must value some things about them, love them, something. And so I want you to turn to that empathy toward them. Again, instead of taking things personally, try to get inside their heads, their hearts, and with compassion and feeling like, oh, they're really hurting right now, or they wouldn't be bringing this up, or this must be very important to her or to him, or I wouldn't be seeing what I'm seeing in this person right now, whether they're hysterical, emotional, angry, tense, or giving you some verbal feedback that's tough to hear. So if you can look at them and the situation with compassionate eyes, that will help the situation. And then the last C of turning conflict into connection is called collaboration. And I really like this. So this is where we see, okay, we have this conflict between us. You have these needs, or I have these needs, or this doesn't work for you, and you need something different. And you look at it together and look for the win-win. There's always more than one way to approach any situation that we confront in our relationships, any situation at all. And so I really want you to tease out together what options that you have. Working together. Maybe you bring some ideas to the table. Maybe he or she brings some ideas to the table, and you brainstorm all of those ideas. No bad ideas, just different ideas, and collaborate on what until you find the best win-win you can find. And another thing that Deborah Morehead says about this is to consider the collaboration part as you and me against the problem. I love that. I've never thought of it that way, ever in all these years of doing this work and just living life for 50 years. I've never thought about it being you and me against a problem. It usually feels like you against me, right? Or me against you when there's conflict. But if we look at it as like, hey, we're a team, we're in this relationship together, and we have this problem over here that needs resolution, then it feels more like you're on the same side, right? Which when we love and care for people, we are on the same side. And it's very important to remember that even when things don't feel very good right in the moment. Okay, so quickly let's review being calm, right? And being really curious about what's really going on here. So calm, taking time out until you can be calm. If you're not right off the bat, then being really curious and growing your understanding of what's happening with the person you're in the relationship with, and then showing great compassion for them because they're struggling with something. They're coming to you with a struggle, and they're needing you to really understand and be compassionate, and then collaborating together to find the best win-win, you and me against the problem. Love that. Hope it helps. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you again soon.